For tonight's episode 15, we got the WrestleMania predictions. We got night 1 and night 2. For night 1, we got Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Damage Control. Who we got? We're about to see Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, the Lucha Libres versus the Sun and the Betrayer. Then we got the 6-pack ladder match. We're about to decide, thank God, we're about to split the titles. Let's go, holy Jesus. The Intercontinental Champion match, Gunther versus Sami. Let's wait and discuss because we're going to see who got it. We got the brother versus brother, Jimmy versus Jay, YEET versus no YEET. We got the World Champion match, the women's, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Can't wait to see how that goes. The Rock versus Roman, the final boss, maybe High Chief, versus the Tribal Chief, versus the American Nightmare versus Seth Rollins, who both got a 40K carry Rolex. Damn, that's money right there. We got night 2. LA Knight finally getting his WrestleMania moment with versus LJ Styles. We got the Philadelphia Street Fight, the Pride versus the Final. The United States Champion, Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. The Women's Champion, Io versus Bayley. A 2-year story that people need to continue speaking about because that's an important one as well. The World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Can't wait for that because that one is the 4th round. Let's hit here. Undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. He better fucking finish the story. That's all. Let's get to it.
With anime in their souls and thoughts of wrestling out of control, we are a trio of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. So allow us to be the voices inside of your head as we make our predictions for the upcoming premium live event and provide an experience inclusive to all nerds. Grab your steel chair, yell for the table, and get put through an experience unlike any other. Brought to you by AniMa Studio, this is the Weebs of the Ring podcast. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, whether you're listening to this or watching this in the morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, you're here because it's WrestleMania season. We got our 3 hosts. We got our world champion Watkins here. We got our legend of the East, Legend of Ash, and of course, dropping all of the knowledge, all of the fortitude of what it means to tell a good story. We got dropping this box. Gentlemen, it is a busy week. It has been an awesome week, but we are finally here. It's WrestleMania season, boys. How we feeling?
Let me talk to
pretty
you.
Good.
It's fucking road to WrestleMania weekend. Because, goddamn, it's my first time. It's a pleasure. Big shout out to Drop because I've known this man for so long. As much is to talk about wrestling in a show in WrestleMania. We spoke about WrestleMania in 39 last year. We even spoke behind the scenes of how whack the Monday Night Raw Back to Mania was. So it is road to WrestleMania. We're hype. Can't wait to talk about this. Can't wait to talk about our predictions. Our first predictions into our show, Weebs of the Ring. And can't wait to see how next year is because it's going to be a journey.
We're going to have really fun discussing this because I do have a lot of thoughts on this. I'm happy that we're taking some time to sit down and talk about all this. It should be a fun show. So hope a lot of you guys that are watching now enjoy it.
So as I was putting the notes together, I was looking at the card. I'm like, man, this is one stat card. And like, I feel like we say that every year as wrestling fans around WrestleMania season, being like, man, that's a stacked card. Man, that's a stacked card. It's like, nah, this one, when looking at it, this has the potential to be, with lack of a better term or phrase, with how WWE likes to market things, this might be one of the greatest of WrestleManias. I almost said greatest Royal Rumble. My mind is just everywhere during WrestleMania season.
They've been marking this as the best WrestleMania ever. So
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how well can they top this. Like, I can't wait for us to review this night 2. And I can't wait for that Monday. It's going to be an interesting weekend interesting Hall of Fame, everything so far, because everything's been lining up, everything's been cooking for their content of. Also, big shout out to WWE Speed. You guys are watching this Thursday, but big drop of WWE Speed that happened of Ricochet and Dragon Lee. So big shout out to that.
Yeah, I saw some of that during my lunch break today, and I didn't get to catch the Bronson Reed Cedric Alexander one yet, but I think they were up there as well.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I like that we're getting 2 of those. And what a week to premiere that too during WrestleMania week.
Smart
good
marketing. Yes.
Yeah, yep. But speed's all fine. Speed's all good. Don't do speed, kids. Drugs are bad. Okay. We got a WrestleMania card to talk about. We got 13 total matches in the span of 2 nights. We got 7 on the first night, 6 on the second night. All of them are going to be bangers. It's going to be banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. I'm on repeat right now, and that is good. So let's just start right off the bat. We got night 1. We got this 6-woman tag match. We got Jade Cargill. We got Bianca Belair. We got Naomi taking on Damage Control, Kabuki Warriors, Dakota Kai. This is going to be a fun match, I think. This is Jade's first WrestleMania, Naomi's first one back. Damage Control looking strong as always, and of course Bianca Belair has to continue her winning streak. So I'm going to start you off with this. Who do you think is going to win this match and why?
I'm going to say Jade, Bianca, Naomi. And the reasons I'll give is, for one, this is Jade's first WrestleMania, so it doesn't really make sense for her to lose, because if you couldn't tell already, they're really pushing Jade to be the next big thing. And if you want to capitalize on something like that, especially when it comes to WrestleMania, because Philly crowds don't mess around, they're coming there for a show. So if you want to make Jade the future, and the reason I'm talking about Jade is because, this is a really big moment for Jade, as Watkins just went over. This is Jade's first WrestleMania. So this is like I guess I can say this is like sort of a predictable win for me. Like, no shade thrown at Damage Control. I just feel like this does more in Jade, Bianca, Naomi's favor. And also Bianca, you got to keep her undefeated streak going. And I don't really see her streak ending with a 6-woman tag match. It just doesn't really make sense, in my personal opinion. So, yeah, Jade, Bianca, and Naomi got this, easily.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, what you think, Vash? Do you agree with this?
The bad ladies.
Other thoughts?
Is Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi glowing this up? And I know who's going to do the pin. It's going to be Jade Cargill doing the pin against who? I don't know. It might be Dakota. That's my guess. It's going to be Jade Cargill pinning Dakota. That's my guess for who is going to get the pin. And it's going to be a big moment for these 3 ladies, because like Drop said, Bianca's going to get that extra win to continue her streak, make the momentum, and for adding Jade for this experience with her peers. And congrats for this, because hey, we're gonna see a beautiful match, or like Walker said, banger after banger.
And yeah, I'm in agreement here as well. And I kind of like what you were putting down right there, Vash. I like the idea of Jade pinning Dakota, because hey, you betrayed poor Vash that night. I still remember your poor face, your poor just soul leaving your body. You believed so hard that Dakota was not going to betray her, and look what it got you. Drop tried to warn you. He tried to warn you.
Yeah, I tried to warn you numerous times.
Hey,
like,
we're about to see it happen. Jade's gonna get this W, and they're gonna slam Dakota down against the ring and get this pin once again.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, good, fun start to this, but yeah, some things aren't good, especially when it has to deal with family. And we're getting another one. We're getting another confrontation of a father and son duo, but also with, friends by their side. We got Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Dominik Mysterio and Santos Escobar. And Vash, I want you to start this off. How we feeling about this match? Who you think's gonna win, and why?
Who
Why
I
is it going to be?
who I think is gonna win is gonna be the bastard son and the betrayer, like I said in the intro, because Ray Dragon Lee sucks that he's gonna be losing with Rey Mysterio, but I think it's gonna be a push for Dominik and for Santos Escobar. Dominik and Santos is gonna be the next to push the company in the Lucha Libre style and everything to do the representation as well. I think that Rey Mysterio is gonna take the L. He's gonna be taking the pin, and I think Dom or Santos. If I have to say which, Dom will be giving the pin to his father, Rey Mysterio. I think that's what it will be, and I think it's gonna be Dom and Santos will be taking the W that night. And as a twist, Carlitos will be doing a betray or twist involving. That's my guess, but just like a red herring, like a red herring, just a random one. But that's just a little crazy one. I could be totally off though.
Okay, all right. What about you, Drop? What are you thinking about this?
I'm gonna say Dom and Santos because they're trying to push Dom and Santos like heavily, and like especially what you saw with Santos when he officially made his heel turn. You know, they're really trying to push him as like the next big thing. Same thing with Dominik Mysterio. And I honestly don't see Dominik losing to his father like 2 years in a row because he had that match with Ray last year and Ray won. Even though part of me thought Dominik should have won that, but hey, you know, it's not that really big of a deal anymore. But I just don't see him losing to his father twice in a row. It doesn't really make sense. So, yeah, Dominik and Santos, I can see winning this.
Well, guys, we're gonna have to go 3-0 with this one because I agree. I agree with everything you guys have been saying because it's like, okay, I agree that, Dom should be the one to pin Mysterio in this tag match. I think, oh man, that would do so many wonders for his character that is already really good.
Yeah, finally got his revenge from last year.
Yep.
Exactly. It'll also kind of fuel the flames for this story that they're telling with the Judgment Day of how Dom's not really communicating with them that much or talking to them that much. And it's just going to lead to, hey, I'm succeeding more with other people. Like I actually pinned my dad.
I'm
and Dragon Lee.
curious, how's his entrance gonna be this time? Because last year he came in a cop car or something. So I'm curious to see what his entrance gonna be. I hope it's an homage to Eddie Guerrero and come in the car. Of how his father came, Ray did the car last year. So I think Dom should do the car this year, but instead have a black car, like a black and purple car.
Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, that would look sick. That would look sick. All right, yeah. So we're pretty much all in agreement there. We think the heel baddies should win that match. So let's just move on because
This will be
there's
interesting.
More. Yes. This one's gonna be good because there's much like how
Choices.
there's more than one royal family in wrestling. There's more than one or two tag teams, especially on this weekend of WrestleMania, because we have a 6-pack ladder match for the tag team championship. Not only just for one of them, but for two of them, because this match will not stop unless both sets of titles are pulled down. So if one set's pulled down, match still got to go on for the other set. We got the Judgment Day defending both of these titles against some pretty good teams. We got DIY. We got The Awesome Truth. We got The New Day. We got A-Town Down Under. And we got New Catch Republic. These are some awesome tag teams. A lot of them have been having some really good matches in the past few weeks and all that. But this whole thing about the titles, the whole thing about okay, one set gets pulled down, match doesn't start until both sets are pulled down. That adds a little bit more intrigue to this because now there's two winners. Now we have to figure out, okay, who's going to win one set, who's going to win the other set. So I am going to ask you first, Drop. Who's walking out with either title?
I'm going to say Awesome Truth because I feel like it's going to be played out as one set's gonna get one, and then the other's gonna get the other one,
Mhm.
and it could possibly happen at the same time. To be perfectly honest, so I'm gonna say Awesome Truth and A Town Down Under because I would assume if you have a face team win one set of titles, you gotta have a heel team win
Mhm.
another. And I honestly just want to add in as well because this is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout this predictions. I
Mhm.
feel like this is definitely showing us like the downfall of Judgment Day, like we've been seeing each week on Raw. And Finn and Damian, I would say, have no chance retaining these titles at all whatsoever. Like I wouldn't even say like a 1%. Like I'm pretty confident they're losing these titles. So yeah, Awesome Truth and A Town Down Under for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I don't there's a very slim chance. Like I saying 1%, I would say is almost being too generous.
Yeah,
Like, but yeah,
zero
I'm on
percent.
the same boat with that. Yeah, there's like it's like a 0.000000000000001% chance that they retain. But what about you, Vash? What you got? Who you think?
All right, all right. So for Raw, I want Awesome Truth, and I want the theory that
Mm.
we said a couple weeks ago that we said that our Truth could grab the title and just brings the Raw one by himself, or if he's with somebody else that's not Miz, he would throw the SmackDown to them just to have them get away from him or something like that. Like I hope Truth is the first one, make a skit out of it, make a comedy, and do something that's part of it that is for his character. That's what I'm hoping for. For SmackDown, I want New Catch Republic to be the
Mm.
winner for SmackDown.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. I like what you guys are saying, like what you guys are putting down. Um oh shoot. See, so I actually I came up with a bit for what our truth could do in this match to get confused.
Copy, talk
It
to
could be
us.
something it could be something where it's like he grabs like he grabs one set of titles and he runs to the Miz. He's just like, "Look, Miz, I got him." And it's like, oh wait, okay, yeah. He grabbed like one of each title. So it's just like, wait, no, Truth. You have to go up and get like the Raw and the SmackDown title. Oh, okay. And he goes up there and puts like the Raw one back, grabs the SmackDown one. Oh no, it was like he puts the Raw one back, and as he's trying to put the SmackDown one back, somebody goes and attacks him or whatever. Like he gets confused somehow by like not getting both titles or like mixing that up somehow.
Okay.
Um, I could see that being where the joke is, but oh, I'm this might be the first time we all differ. Ooh, because see, with this being Triple H's like first Mania, it's like because I get the thing with like Awesome Truth getting their moment, especially with Truth getting his moment. It's like I get that, I understand that, but man, what a stamp it would be for
I have a
Triple
feeling I
H.
know what you're gonna say.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna say
And what
DIY
a
New Catch Republic, huh?
what a stamp it would be for Triple H to just be like, "Hey, guess what? I'm actually here, much like All Might. I am here. Here are my boys, DIY and New Catch Republic, both walking out with the tag team titles. Like just the image alone, and then like the picture Triple H can have in the back with all his boys, just like all together. And he's just like, oh yeah, like pointing at both sets of
See,
teams.
see, here's the thing. Like, I actually agree with that
I don't
because
mind
Mhm.
it.
that's
I don't mind
no,
that one.
Yeah.
because that's my realistic answer
Hmm.
is DIY and New Catch Republic. My answers are just mainly based on like story.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
was the only reason why I chose those. If I had to choose what I personally want, because a lot of my
Hmm.
answers on here will probably go along with story and what it's telling us on television. I
Yeah.
would, if I didn't have to include that, I would have said DIY New Catch Republic because then you would actually have actual competition with those tag teams.
Hmm. And yeah, that's what I want. That's what I crave because like both of those teams are so freaking good. But my only reservation with it though is DIY winning it, because part of me enjoys the chase for them,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still gonna I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with
Yeah, I would
it
just stick
because
with it.
part of me wants to be different as well.
Yeah, I honestly just hope that prediction comes true.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Oh
If
my
it
gosh,
happens,
it'll
we
be
will
great.
see it. Night one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But continuing on with night one, we got a dominating force meeting the ultimate underdog. We've got Gunther defending his IC championship against an Alpha Academy now trained Sami Zayn. This wasn't the match I know a lot of us wanted. You know, a lot of us wanted that Gunther versus
Chad
Chad Gable
Gable.
match. And I mean, we're getting the Sami Zayn match, which it's gonna be good, but I don't
It has the
know. I
potential
don't
to
know about
steal the
this
night, to
one.
be honest.
It
Um,
does. It has a lot of
I'm
potential for
thinking
that.
my choice might be different from your guys, so I'm not 100%.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
Gunther on this, mainly because I just don't really see Gunther losing a match to Sami Zayn. And the only reason why I say that is I feel like Sami Zayn's probably gonna give Gunther like one of his best matches that he's had in a long time. And Gunther's had a lot of great matches, so it's kind of hard to really say which one you could really put on like the top three or whatever. But I feel like Sammy's like bigger than the IC title, and I brought this up before when we done our podcast. That I feel like
Mhm.
Sammy's just above the IC title at this point. Would it be cool if he won? Sure. But you got to look at it like this. Like from my perspective, when someone gets that title off of Gunther, it should be used to enhance somebody that actually needs it. Sammy doesn't really need it.
Mhm.
Sammy's just in a position where he wants to get to WrestleMania and he wants to have that match. That's why a lot of people had sympathy for Gable, because Gable, you would actually have someone where you could enhance that talent with, because Gable, ever since he joined, he's only been a tag team champion. That's why if you gave him a singles championship and you give him what Gunther had with that belt, that would enhance him so much. So I personally, and I'm gonna stick with this from like realistic answer and a personal want and a story want. I'm just gonna say
Mhm.
Gunther, because I know the original plan for this was Gunther and Brock, and I still feel like Gunther was gonna go over, and that match doesn't really make sense for Brock to really win that. They would just
Yeah.
another way to enhance Gunther as being like, you know, the next big thing. And and I definitely feel like 2024 is going to give Gunther a great year as it is, especially with Bash and Berlin around the corner. But I'm going to say
Mhm.
Gunther.
Okay. All right. What you got for us, Vash?
I have two answers. So
Oh.
like my realistically is gonna be Gunther.
Oh no.
Uh,
Who I want to win is Sammy. But the I want to give that reason is because I didn't see Sammy in his NXT growth. I didn't see Gunther as Walter. So I'm seeing these wrestlers as the current now. I
Mm.
saw Sammy as Uzi in the Bloodline. With the documentary, I saw a bit more understanding of why Roman chose him, why Roman wanted to elevate him and everything. But for him to go for the IC title, I didn't see him have the IC title back then. So I want to see him have it now and still use the elevation for him now with the IC title for a
Oh
bit.
no.
yeah, a screen cap.
So am I gonna be sad this weekend if he loses? Most likely. But if Gunther wins, I saw it coming. Story, it will help his elevation, and hopefully Chad Cable could find him in Backlash or SummerSlam, in the coming months and actually take that title more deserving as it should have gone to Chad Cable. But Sammy is what I would like to win.
As long as the dragon doesn't get in the way.
I see. I see what you're thinking. I
Mm-hmm.
see what you're putting down. Uh, you know what? I'm with Drop on this one. I am going Gunther. I think that this is going to be. Oh man, this does have potential to steal the entire night. especially with night one, and that's saying something with The Rock being on the card, but mainly from just an in-ring wrestling standpoint. But I mean, the whole thing with Gunther now, it's not only just to take the title from Gunther, but it's also being the person to say, I defeated Gunther. Like I am one. I am that one. Like kind of like how Brock was. Like it's funny we were mentioning Brock again, but like it's kind of like how mainly Paul Heyman was saying it, where like after he had beaten the streak, he's just like he is the one in 21-1, and like that's almost something even bigger than the IC title. It's like I am the person that beat you. That's why it was so big that even though it was like by count out or by like that 5-minute rule that Chad Gable had with Gunther way back when, like that's why that was kind of a big deal, because it's like, oh, this is technically a loss to Gunther. Like that is on his record now as a loss, even if he wasn't pinned or submitted. So to me the story is more about defeating Gunther rather than the IC title. It's just the IC title is also part of that, because it's like, okay, this is a prestigious title. This is even back in the day, this was the number 2 title. This was the title that was just like, okay, this is your test run for the main event. You do well, you can get that main event spot, you know. So I think they've been trying to build that title up to be like that, and it has been that like that on Raw, which is good, how it should be. So like Gunther now, I do agree he's a little bit bigger now than the IC title. It is starting to get to the time where he shouldn't have it. I just don't think Sam's going to be the one to take it from him.
Cool.
I agree.
All right. Well,
the YEET versus no YEET.
We got some blood warfare going on. That's right. Vash told us it is YEET versus no YEET. Brother versus brother. Twin versus twin. What is it, like 7 minutes apart they are? Yes. 7 minutes versus 0 minutes, or however you want to make that analogy. We got Jimmy and Jay Uso. They're not feeling Uso. They're going to beat each other up. Vash, who's winning this match?
YEET! YEET! That's a simple answer. My boy Jay Uso is going to be winning and is going to be putting the Smackdown. Jay's going to be winning.
That's it.
Jay's going to be
Jimmy.
That's
the tweet.
That's it.
Wait, hold on. That's it. That's the YEET.
That's the YEET.
Oh my gosh. What about you, Drop? Are you feeling the YEET, or are you no yeeting this?
I'm gonna say Jay, but like let me put this out first. I feel like realistically this match could go either way, but I'm only going with Jay just from like personal favorite. And it would be a really nice moment for him, but at the same time it could really go either way. So I was looking at this when we were recording our thoughts and stuff, and I was like, yeah, when we get onto this question, I'm gonna have to say, this could really go either way with these two guys. But yeah, Jay Uso for me.
I would like to add as well. I agree, because with Jimmy, it could help him if he takes the win as well against his younger brother. He will take this over him. That the little brother, you could still never beat me. So this type of win could help with Jimmy and his ego against always trying to protect his little brother. But with Jay, I agree that is a favorite, but also story-wise, where right now he's main event Jey Uso. So right now, if this win can help him get the IC title later in a couple months, or go for the World Heavyweight title for Drew or Seth, or months to come. So I agree, could go either way, but still YEET.
Also with like Jay as well, got to keep in. I also remember this. This could also be Jay's way of getting back at Jimmy for costing him all those matches as well. So that's another thing that factors in.
I will be a tight, spiteful ass brother. I'm like, yo, it's time for your time. You're gonna get that ass whipping. Bam, bam.
Right?
Because he cost him the U.S. title match. He cost him the tag titles. That's why him and Cody lost it. And then he also cost him the IC title match when he went up against Gunther. Those are 3 title matches he had.
Against Roman.
4th one.
The first one.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, 4 altogether.
Yeah.
So honestly, I now that I'm talking about him more, I would say Jay.
See, like, there's a part of me that's just like, the story could be so good if Jimmy won.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, just the layer it would add to that, because it's like, okay, Jay is main event. He has been doing so well as a solo star, but like the one stain is just Jimmy's constant just getting in his business and all that. And it's like, man, how, like, just in storyline purposes, for Jimmy to, even if he, like, especially if he cheats to win, like, just that alone, just still having that over Jay, like, because then you can have a rematch where there's a title on the line, like Jay finally wins a singles title, but Jimmy's still like trying to sneak his way in there and all that, and you can have that rematch, and it could build to the story. So it's like, man,
I see that.
There's story potential there, like,
okay.
exactly. Like,
so is your answer there. Jimmy? You still didn't clarify that answer.
See, that's the kicker, because the heart wants Jay. The heart wants the yeet. But the brain is just like, the story's there. It can write itself. And then it's just like, but the heart wants what the heart wants.
Out of night 1, you still haven't taken a Vash call, is what I'll call it right now. A realistically answer and a want answer. This could be your 2 answer, because we still have 2 more stories for night 1 to talk about. But this is your only one to substitute.
Look,
this very match could also factor in on those the tag match and the Roman and Cody match.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Yep. Because that's the thing. If Jimmy wins, then Jay has reason to, like, even more reason to interfere. Fucking hell! I'm talking myself into a shoe here. No. Okay. You know what? No. We're sticking with the heart, because I have a Yeet shirt I'm wearing on Saturday. So no, we're going Yeet. We're going Yeet on this. The heart. Okay. The heart's going with it, and it's gonna destroy me when I hear Jimmy's stupid music playing and the stupid harpsichord going ding ding ding. Now I hate music, but onwards to music I do like.
We have Mommy versus the Man.
That's right. We got the Man versus Mommy for the Women's World Championship. Drop. Who do you think's winning this one?
Rhea. I'm just going to say that mainly because I feel like Becky's being used right now to enhance Rhea even more. So I don't really see why Rhea would lose this match. Because if you notice with Becky lately, even when Becky loses matches, it doesn't do anything to her. It's just like Bianca. Once these people like build themselves up a certain way and they lose matches, it doesn't really damage their reputation, whatever. Because at that point, they're pretty much bulletproof. So whatever you throw at them, they'll be perfectly fine. And there's a reason why they were holding off this match between Rhea and Becky, because it's been teased for the longest time. And they obviously wanted to wait until WrestleMania, because this is definitely a WrestleMania match. This isn't a match you put on Raw. Definitely not. No. With Rhea and Becky, yeah, I'm sticking with Rhea. Just makes perfect sense. You know, you enhance Rhea even more, and a win over Becky would definitely do wonders for her. Just like when Lyra beat Becky for the NXT title, it did wonders for her. She's still the NXT Women's Champion heading into Stand and Deliver. She's having a very successful title run. So with Rhea, I'm gonna say she has this in the bag.
For me, it's gonna be Mommy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Mommy. Straight up simple. Hey, Mommy's always on top. It's how she said it. It's how she is, and she'll be dominant. She's gonna they're gonna put on a great show. That's what Becky and Rhea's gonna put a great performance.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to see the match. That's what I'm more excited for. Out of all the matches we've spoken about, I'm really excited for what these two women will produce in the match it will be. but Mommy will be on top. She will be winning. This is her first WrestleMania as a champion. Last year she won it. Now this year she's here to defend it. Full circle has come around. So can't wait to see Mommy be on top. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And Mommy will stay on top of the man. I might be wearing the man hat, but the man's not walking out with that W. I'm sorry, Becky. I love you. You're one of the girls. You're one of them. But nah, it's Mommy. It's Mommy all the way.
I feel like we might
But
have
now,
a similar answer with this one too. Maybe.
maybe. This one's gonna have some. This one's gonna have some talk.
Well, let's go.
Maybe.
Night one's main event. It seems like it.
We got night one's main event. We've got the final boss, the High Chief, The Rock, and Roman Reigns, your undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, Roman Reigns, versus Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the winner of the 2023 and 2024 Royal Rumble, joined by Seth Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion, pulling double duty for the weekend, as well as two of the other men in this match. Guys, this match has implications for Night 2's main event. It's either going to be a straight one-on-one if Cody wins, but if Rock and Roman win, it's bloodline rules, baby. And it'll be overbooked, and it'll be hella fun, or it could be a straight one-on-one. Drop. Tell us who you think is gonna win.
I'm gonna say The Rock and Roman Reigns, only because I don't think they're gonna want to end WrestleMania weekend with just a standard one-on-one match. Like, they definitely want to do that Bloodline Rules match, and especially with like all the speculation we've been talking lately about how there could be other people coming to Cody's aid, like Stone Cold or The Rock. I mean, I would pay money to see Rock just shit his pants as soon as he hears like the shatter from Stone Cold's music. Because if there's someone that could really shut up The Rock, that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. We've seen it before in the past. Stone Cold doesn't play around. But you know that's going to be like an overbooked match with like Cody versus Roman the next night, but in a good way. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but in a good way, because if it's Bloodline Rules, there's going to be a whole bunch of chaos, and that's definitely how they want to end off that night, especially since it's WrestleMania 40. 40 years of WrestleMania, you want to make it a memorable experience. If this was, you know, just me being biased, I would have said Cody and Seth, because I love them both. But I honestly feel like the realistic answer, and especially since this is Rock's first match after so many years, and I obviously do not see Roman Reigns taking a pinfall before his next match the following night, because it kind of takes away the feeling if Cody pins him. Because why would he lose this match and then get pinned the following night? It would just kind of lose that feeling. Like, you want that feeling when Roman gets pinned and gets that title taken away. You want it to hit hard. So I feel like The Rock and Roman Reigns has this, because I just don't see it being a typical one-on-one, even though it probably wouldn't anyway. But they definitely made that Bloodline Rules a thing for a reason, and they're not going to do away with it. Like, I feel like Monday was just a preview of it, and Sunday it's going to get extremely, extremely chaotic.
I felt bad for that ref. That ref jumped on that roll.
So yeah, Rock.
Oh yeah,
Rock Roman.
All right, we got one Rock Roman. What about you, Vash?
We got two Rock and Roman for winning for night one main event of The Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth freaking Rollins. Roman and Rock will be winning. I agree 1,000% with what our co-host dropped this box said, because he's spitting facts. Because if you WrestleMania from all the years I can remember, they are a spectate. They are in entertainment. I remember the amount of times when I saw Undertaker was almost down for the count of those streaks. This man will get up like it's bedtime. He's like, hey. I'm like, boy, you was just down for the count. Why the fuck you getting up? Those are moments that they make. And that's what this WrestleMania weekend is. Night one main event. The Rock will be fighting for his life. Not just getting whipped by Cody and Seth, but this man will be breathing nonstop because he will be sweating, forehead and everything, of how stressful this 20-30 minute main event that's going to be. But who would be taking the pinfall would be interesting. I believe Roman or Rock will be pinning. I cannot decide who. It's a 50-50 chance. Who I think will be taking the L is Seth Rollins. I think he'll be taking the pin on my end.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I forgot to add in. I feel Cody's taking the pin.
Oh, okay, so we have a difference there. We both agree on who's taking the
Yeah.
W, but who's taking the pin? We have two differences. Drop is Cody, me is Seth. So that's my answer for 91 main events. How about you, Mr. World Champion? Who do you think will be taking the win and who's taking the pin?
Ooh, see, a lot like Jimmy and Jay, there are so many interesting and fun avenues to go down with this. Because, like, okay, you can have Rock and Roman win, Bloodline Rules match next night, overbooked fun fest of pure sports entertainment joy and goodness. And, you know, if that were the case, you know, with them winning, I would see, like, The Rock being the one to pin Cody in that scenario.
Yep.
And then,
Just
like,
adds
the
more
next...
adversity.
Mm-hmm. And because that's the thing, it's like, you know, the next night after Roman loses, and then, like, that's how you can kind of build the program between Rock and Roman. It's like, oh, because Rock can be like, oh, you know, I helped give you a big advantage for WrestleMania, and you failed. Like, you failed the family, like, things like that. And, like, it's actually really starting, like, pulling his weight in the position that he's in against Roman, like, showing him that, no, you don't have power. I have legit power, you know, so you could build a story like that. Or you could look at it on the other end, where if Cody and Seth were to win, Cody could be pinning The Rock. And then you have the story flipped over there after, you know, Cody beats Roman the next night. Spoilers for those predictions later on, but whatever. But then you have the story kind of flipped on that side, because it's just like, you know, Roman can now blame The Rock for losing the title because, you know, The Rock made him do the tag team match. The Rock then was the one to eat the pinfall to have their team lose. So now it's not my fault I lost. It's my dumbass cousin's fault that I lost. So, like, there's multiple different ways we can go about it with, like, the bloodline stuff. And then, like, with the Cody stuff, it's like, okay, he can finally actually get a one-on-one with Reigns, you know, like, earn that victory on his own, all that stuff. Or, again, the overbooked fun fest that is sports entertainment. But which would I rather prefer? Would I rather my sports entertainment be on night 1 or night 2? And I'm going to actually agree with both of you. I think Rock and Roman are winning, mainly because, again, kind of like what you guys said too, this is Rock's first WrestleMania back in a long time, and kind of doubt he's going to be eating a pin with that. Plus, this just adds more adversity towards Cody the next night. And I know I asked it the other night about, like, if we're hammering it in or not, but this is kind of the scenario that I was kind of playing in my head, so I'm fine with this amount of hammering in. But okay, so you know what? Much like the days pass and the seasons change and grass grows, we're on from one night to another night. And that comes with a quick wardrobe change, as I have to change my hat for that. Because we have different people on this night. We have different matches, except for the main event, which we kind of somewhat talked about, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. Night 2, the first match I want to talk about. It's about one of my boys versus another one of my boys. My boys are fighting. I don't understand why. They're bros. They should be bros. We're all bros. Like, just don't fight. Don't fight, buddies. Just go grab a beer. It'll be fine. Maybe convince AJ that the world is actually round and not flat. But yes, we got AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Vash, I'm going to start with you this time. Who do you think's walking out with this W of these two
Yeah.
elite stars?
I'm gonna tell you what 3 ways. Who is gonna be L.A. Knight? That's who it is.
Yeah.
It's gonna be my boy. He get his moment, his WrestleMania moment, his WrestleMania weekend. He didn't get it last year at LA, but we get into this year at Philly. It's gonna be LA Knight, and I'm very happy for LA Knight. AJ Styles, my dude's buff as hell. He's gonna put up a great ass match with LA Knight. I can't wait, and I'm curious to see how the W is going to be for LA Knight and how the match is going to be. But overall, I'm excited. But definitely going to go to my boy LA Knight.
Yeah. All right, what you got, Drop?
I'm gonna say LA Knight too. I feel like since this is his first WrestleMania, and especially since he's going up against somebody like AJ Styles, just a superstar that's on that caliber, I feel like this is going to be a great match. Could potentially be a underrated match that we have on the WrestleMania card. And yeah, I'm gonna have to give this to LA. Yeah.
Yeah. And if my hat look, they're both my boys, and it hurts me. It pains me that I have to choose between the two. But because he's not fighting for a title at this junction of WrestleMania, it's gonna be LA Knight. Yeah. I tried not to say yeah after saying his name, but like it's hard not to. It's like when you're saying Adam Cole, baby, or
Yep.
what, or just yelling Bonkai in the middle of the playground.
Or saying like the rated R superstar. Like you got to say the whole thing.
The
like
rated R superstar.
Hey. But now we're going to talk about the last minute fight.
Oh yeah, this was added. This is added on social media because look. First of all, I gotta at least throw this out for everybody who lives in Philly or is gonna be staying in Philly for the weekend or that night. Be careful Sunday because no matter what happens at the end of the night, Philly's probably gonna burn down. It's just which which way are we gonna go about it? Is it gonna be an angry burn down or a happy burn down? I don't know, but it's all gonna start with a street fight because we got the Pride, we got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits finally taking on the Final Testament. That's Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain. Drop. This match kind of just got thrown. It didn't really get thrown together. We had some build with it, but it was announced just on social media, which, I mean, fine, whatever. But how you feeling about this match? How you think it's gonna go, and who you think is gonna win overall?
I'm gonna say the Final Testament only because I feel like this is Karrion's last chance to really get over with the crowd. Not saying anything to him because he's always done great work, but I feel like the way that they're building him right now, if he gets a win over the Pride, that's gonna do wonders for him. Like I feel like it would do more for him than it would with Lashley. Because Lashley's like another person where he's pretty much bulletproof, where even if he loses this match, he'll be fine. And I just feel like the Final Testament needs this more. Because you don't want to bring back the Authors of Pain and have them lose in like a match like this. Like it's honestly kind of hard for me to really see the Authors of Pain, especially being involved in a street fight, looking at how huge those guys are, like losing. But yeah,
Right.
Final Testament definitely needs this more.
Okay. Yep. All right. What about
Agreed.
you, Vash? Do you need
Agreed.
this more?
The Final Testament. I'm on the same page. I love the Street Profits. I love Bobby Lashley. I like Karrion Kross. He's really been growing on me. I like his social media as well. It's very great to see these type of superstars live their personal life as well, and you see them outside the bubble. But Authors of Pain, I agree everything with what Drop said. The Authors of Pain looks menacing, looks strong, looks powerful from how big dudes they are. They're having a Philadelphia street fight. It's supposed to be chaotic. I can't wait to see. But for Street Profits, I will be as high to say as how Bobby Lashley is bulletproof. I agree with Street Profits as well to some extent that they might be bulletproof as well, because even a couple months ago they tried to take them as heels, but the crowd didn't go over. They still stayed as babyface. But what do you expect if you're gonna be hanging around with Bobby Lashley? They're gonna stay as babyface, so they're still gonna be loved by the audience, by the fans. Even if the Street Profits take a loss, they will still continue being loved by the fans. The same thing for Bobby Lashley. As long as that they put a great match, a great entertainment, I hope the Final Testament takes the W.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna be different because I'm gonna say Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, mainly because I struggle anymore to get behind Karrion Kross on the main roster. Like his NXT run was fine. It was pretty good, but ever since he's been on the main roster, I think it was ever since that first match with Jeff Hardy, where Jeff Hardy just beats him after Karrion had been undefeated basically in NXT. He was the current NXT champion, and then you call him up and have him almost job out to Jeff Hardy. Like that took away a lot of momentum and a lot of just a lot of momentum from Karrion Kross. And it's like anytime he's tried things, any feud he's been a part, I don't think he's won a feud yet on the main roster. So it's hard for me to even get behind him, even with this new faction, like, which sucks because I really like AOP. So honestly, I don't see AOP taking the fall. I do see Karrion Kross taking the fall, and to be honest, get AOP away from Karrion Kross, get them away from him, so that way they can do their own thing. They can be dominant, like how dominant I know they can be. Just nah, I'm done with Karrion Kross. I'm done with him. Just have Bobby Lashley, have the boys finish it off. Just do it. Put him out of his misery.
All right. I like Karrion Kross. Drop things Karrion Kross. The Final Testament is going to win. And Watkins is on the lone boat of thinking the Pride will win.
I might be on the lone boat with this next one, but I could be wrong.
Hey, we have three
United
options
States
here.
Title?
And here we have three options. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Logan Paul has to defend his United States title against, well, they're not Team RKO anymore because they're opponents now. We got Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, both going after the United States title. Triple threat match. Drop, you saying you might be different. What's your different opinion? Let's hear it.
I'm gonna say Logan's winning this triple threat match, only because they're having SummerSlam in Cleveland, and they probably want to do something special with him because whenever WWE has, these certain locations where they have premium live events and they have somebody on the roster that's from that said area, they usually like doing something big for them. So I'm saying Logan's probably going to win this match. And I just feel like we could definitely get more out of Logan Paul with the United States champion. Because, I don't know, like, he's above that title. He does not need it. I'm sorry. Kevin Owens, you could, like, actually say, okay, maybe. Randy does not need it.
Nah.
But, yeah, Logan for me. I just like you can get more out of him. You can build it up. And then maybe at SummerSlam, you could finally get Logan Paul versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
Because that was supposed to be the match we were getting this WrestleMania season. But obviously things changed because of reasons, injuries, etc., so on. So
let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Logan Paul is going to be winning as well. And I'm shocked for myself to even say that. If this was like LA Knight versus Logan Paul, I would say LA Knight in a heartbeat. But,
same.
But I agree and back up 100% what Drop is saying. This is my creative mindset, my booking mindset. I see how Triple H and what Drop said. Cleveland is happening in the next couple months. You want Logan to promote it. You want him to be the face of that pay-per-view, or at least since it's his city, you want him to be the spotlight. You want him to market it, and like he has said it in his most recent podcast episodes, he wants to take this more serious. He wants to be more involved. He is a storyteller as he has done in his own content. And the same thing, that he believes in what he's doing as a champion, as a wrestler. So agree, Randy don't need this. What he's doing is he's helping Logan Paul to elevate him to become what Logan could be. And KO is also elevating that, because at the end of the day, KO knows that he has the next 5-7 years. He doesn't need the US title, but what he needs to do is elevate that US title, since Austin Theory kind of felt like we decreased it. So we need the Logan Paul US title to elevate that, and he has the heel character going on very well. So I'm loving that for Logan Paul. Continue with doing what you're doing and give us a good match. And if you're gonna skydive or jump or rope around again from the whole stadium, can you at least speed that shit up? Because last time it felt like a bit slow. So Logan Paul, I know you're gonna give us a good entertainment match. Hopefully you get good, and the RKO is gonna be monumental again at a WrestleMania moment, because I know they're gonna try to look for a good spot to do it with Logan and Randy, or even try to do a triple RKO. That'd be wild. Do like Randy Abato jump and gets gets Logan Paul and KO. That'd be a really dope spot, because I don't think we've ever seen like a double RKO at once.
I don't know.
None really pops in my head, so I don't really know.
So let's see what happens. But Watkins, what does pop in your head when it comes to this winner? Is it Logan like us two, or are you gonna be different once again?
You know what pops in my head is the fact that, you know, my floor is dirty right now because of all these cherry blossom petals just falling and landing in my yard, and I'm like, man, I really need to, you know, sweep my floor so that way it's very clean. So much like how this prediction right here is a clean sweep of Logan Paul, because Logan Paul is walking away from WrestleMania, the U.S. champion. The only thing I would add to what you guys said is the story going into this is just how Randy and Kevin have, like, they've been on the same page a lot, and, you know, really acting like a team, which is cool to see, which is great. But they're being a little too chummy for a triple threat match, and I think they're gonna do the thing where they try to take out Logan early on, and then it turned into a one-on-one for a bit, and then Logan's gonna do something to, like, he's basically gonna be the ultimate opportunist in this match. So that it's gonna be Logan Paul walking away. And from one title match to another, one that some think should main event one of the nights at WrestleMania, which there's an argument for. We got the women's championship match. We got Io Sky defending against her former friend, mentor, best bosom buddy pal, Bayley. Bill's been pretty good for this. I know I've had a few complaints here and there, just a few nitpicks and all that, but overall, you know what? It's been really good. I haven't gotten a chance to watch, like, all those videos that came out of Bayley with, like, I saw the one that was, I think, on Raw the other night, with her, like, getting, like, the, what is it, like, the joint stuff, like, because it's not a massage, it's just, like, kind of, I guess it was visiting a chiropractor or something. Like, I've seen them go to that kind of doctor before. But Vash, who you think's walking away? I mean, I know I'm looking at the notes right now. I see what you basically put for all of us. So
I believe
we're
all
be another clean sweep.
I believe we're on the same page for saying that it's all Bayley. I wrote it for us. I know we all spoke about it for the past couple of weeks. Who's gonna win? We've been saying it. Like, this is the only probably 100% type of winner we all believe that will come out of this. Like, the other champion fights, could be this, but this one I feel like we all agree. Is that correct?
Yeah, Bayley's gonna walk out of this on top, honestly.
That's it.
And, like, adding on to, like, what Watkins said about, like, the video packages that Bayley's been doing. She had 2 of them where she was, like, preparing herself, and then this third one she came out. It was, like, more of, like, a hype promo building up their match. And I would definitely recommend watching that because I feel like she's probably going to be doing this like probably tomorrow and Friday as well, leading up to Mania. But I would definitely recommend watching the one she put out today because that one I was blown away. It was very good. But yeah, Bayley definitely
Good.
deserves this.
So that's one clean sweep. Ah, man,
Hmm.
these other two might be clean sweeps as well. Which,
Yeah.
you know what? Nothing wrong with a somewhat predictable show,
Yep.
because hey,
Make it.
that means when fun things happen, they're
Yep.
even extra. But we've got one of our co-main events. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line as Seth Rollins takes on big Scottish daddy Drew McIntyre, with CM Punk on commentary from the match as well. And yeah, I think we might all be in agreement that Drew is walking out with that title.
Especially if the
Yes.
character work he's been doing for the past couple months, he definitely deserves it.
He
And
better
especially
win.
Mhm.
since they're building a
Yep.
match that isn't even a thing yet with CM Punk once he returns. It's
Yep.
only a matter of time.
Um now here's another kicker. Here's the little monkey wrench, or I'm holding a spinner right now. So here's the spinner in your piano for you. Damian Priest still has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Damian Priest has tried many, many times to cash in on Seth Rollins, and a
So
few of those times he was stopped by Drew McIntyre.
Oh,
Do
I
y'all
know
think
where you're
he's
going
cashing
with
in?
this.
I'm so
Do y'all think?
happy you brought this up because I was gonna ask you guys a similar question because
Hmm.
this is my answer to your question and the answer to the question I was gonna ask you guys. Because it's crazy to have people criticize Damian Priest holding the Money in the Bank for so long, when Seth held it the same time and cashed it in at WrestleMania, where I feel like it's beautiful storytelling when Seth is the one that cashed it in that many years ago in 2018, I believe, 2017 it was, and then Damian Priest holding it same length around the same time could cash it in tonight on Seth and Drew making a triple threat match. And if Damian
Hmm.
still wins, it still is fine for me because Damian cashing in on the guy that has been giving him problems since Survivor Series and before that, since October, and since they have not met eye to eye, and Seth cashing in at WrestleMania all these years ago, I feel like it will really bring full circle if Damien also cashes in
Hmm.
and makes a
And like
triple threat.
that, yeah. And like, so I see. I kind of see it happening after the match. So like, it'll
Mm.
still give Drew that moment of winning the world title in front of everybody and having that cheering, all that going on, and then just boom, here comes the briefcase smacking on the head. Oh, I'm cashing in. And I think the most important part, at least in my head, how I'm seeing this play out, Damian Priest is alone. No Judgment Day.
Hmm.
He did this like on his own, because that's the thing. Like anytime he's wanted to cash in or thought about cashing in, most of the time we've seen it involve the Judgment Day. So it's like, oh, like when they were building the Judgment Day breaking up for the first time with like Finn and Damien having a lot of miscommunication. A lot of that had to deal with the briefcase. And they lost a few matches because of that. A few very important matches because of that. There's how Rhea Ripley started just holding on to it for a bit
So,
for Damien.
do you
Like,
think that Damien cashes in after the match, but he still wins, or do you think Drew retains?
I would say he still wins, because then that would help transition us into the summer months going forward, because then like you have a program right there where like at Backlash you could have a triple threat with Damian, Drew, and Seth. You could have Damian and Seth. You can have Damian and Drew. Like it'll all still like it'll the end goal will still be Drew holding that title and facing Punk, but now there's just that extra chapter that goes along with it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
I completely forgot about the
I
whole
s-
Damien thing until we brought it up. But
Yeah.
I can definitely I'm more on board with what Watkins said, where he'll probably come in after the match because I'm pretty sure Drew and Seth are gonna put on one hell of a match, and Drew's probably gonna be
Oh yeah.
exhausted. And this could also be Damien's way of getting back at Drew, because Drew's always costing Damien his cash-ins, because there's one time where he threw the briefcase, and then there's the other time where he just what's it called? What's his finisher called again? Um
Who,
Drew's
Drew's?
finisher.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Claymore? Yeah.
Yeah, where he like claymores him all the time. Like Damien's but
Hmm.
like Drew's always there preventing it all the time.
Yeah.
So
And I think
I could definitely see this being a way of him getting revenge.
and the other thing to also add with it too, CM Punk's out there.
Hmm.
And Drew could just be distracted by Punk long
Oh
enough
yeah,
for
yep,
Damien.
yep, yep.
So like, see again, it's just the
He's got to
layers, you
factor
know?
in Punk. Punk's not gonna just talk. He's gonna do something.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
like this.
And it
Especially
doesn't
if
have
it's
to
like
be
after the
physical
match.
either.
We are
Hmm.
all kind of different, but agreed that Drew will be winning against Seth. But I believe it will become a triple threat. You guys believe it will be cash in after, but we
Yeah.
each have a similar
Yeah.
prediction. So I like that. It's very different.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What's
But
not going to be
you know,
different?
at the end, oh well, what better be different from last year is
Ah,
our main event, because we've
I'm
got it. We
confident.
finally got our main event. We finally got
The right one.
the night two, the right one, the correct one, the right answer, the
You
thing
wait
that
till
you
next year
want.
for that other one.
Yeah, we'll wait for that other one. Then we can start talking about, oh yeah, we want that. But no, it's got to be this year. It's got to be now. The time is now. You can see him because his time is now. It's Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
I hope that's
I
called
think we're
WWE
all
Championship
agreed.
after that.
I hope so too. Oh my gosh, I hope so.
yeah, he will be
Such a
changing
God,
it.
long
I
name.
really hope so.
And chat,
I like.
we're all on the same page. And if you have a difference throughout this video, let us know your thoughts on what you think is gonna win for night one, night two. And if you think Roman's gonna retain this, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. Cause Cody better fucking win. Look, it's not about finishing the story. It's not about that. It's about him completing what he's been going through and his goal and start the new era of what was the pandemic era of Roman winning. And now we're entering the new chapter of Cody being the champion.
Yeah, because I heard today on the MMA podcast he was a part of, Ariel Helwani, he actually named this era the Renaissance era.
Yeah.
So if
Which I
Cody,
really like that.
yeah,
Which I don't mind it. It works.
and I
It sounds.
and I definitely feel like Cody deserves this. I mean, he's been working his butt off. It's not just him coming back to WWE. Like he left WWE to reinvent himself, to bring him to this position he is now. And this would pretty much be like the cherry on top if he wins the title. And I would absolutely love it. I would go ballistic. I would be happy, tears of joy. Like I really, really, really want this so bad.
Yeah, and like, just the time is right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I mean,
time is
even
now.
going back, like going back with hindsight from last year, I get it now. Just holding off a little bit. I get it. Don't worry. I I had reservations. I didn't like it at first, but I'm glad I waited it out at least to this point. And like Vash said, if you guys have a different opinion, different thoughts on it, think Roman's gonna retain, then I do challenge you in the chat, in the comments, all that wonderful stuff. I do challenge you. Give me a reasoning without saying he needs to beat Hogan's record. That's all. That's all. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I challenge you to convince me without using that as a statement. But I digress. That's neither here nor there. Cody Rhodes is going to win this match. Whether it is an actual legitimate one-on-one match or it's sports entertainment out the wazoo,
Well,
Cody Rhodes
not
needs to
that
win.
we're on it. Night one, Bloodline rules. This happens where anything goes. I will be
Mhm.
excited to see Stone Cold, Glass
Mm,
Breaks, John Cena, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins comes out,
Mhm.
supports the man. He takes the W. I remember Drop saying this a couple weeks ago. So does it call does to someone spike, but Cody Rhodes kicks out of the 1, 2, 3. But then he does
mm,
his 3 crossroads and gets Roman to finally get pinned. The 1, the 2,
yeah.
and the 3. That's what I'm
Mhm.
hoping for.
You also
I
gotta
want my
look.
kick out.
Yeah, you also gotta look at this as well. Well, if Stone Cold and John Cena like take part in this match, Stone Cold has history with Rock,
John
and
Cena.
Hmm.
Cena has history with Roman and Rock. So it makes a lot of sense to have those two parties involved in this match.
Yeah.
Storytelling. Paul Heyman. This is your ninth inning. Finish it strong.
Hmm
Hmm. I want my Cody kicking out at one spot. Like ever since I saw Kenny Omega do that last year at Forbidden Door. I
Or the
think
one when
yeah, it was
Angel.
Forbidden Door, yeah. Yeah, when he kicked out a one with that, and he's just like pounding that mat like, oh my
which
god,
is
and just like,
which is definitely a tribute to Sephiroth with that move, which I like.
oh yeah. But just like that moment, like first of all, that go watch that match if you haven't yet
Oh
because
yeah,
it's really good. But just it's that moment, like after sitting on that for like a little bit, I was like, man, I need Cody to have that moment because Cody is the perfect person to like recreate that moment. And I do want to give a quick shout out to I shared a link in our chat earlier, but I do want to give a quick shout out because Cultaholic has been doing a special like rundown of Cody's career in like a few different parts. So they've done like 3 parts so far. They've
Mhm.
done like his first WWE run until he got the boot, and then they did his time like in the Indies for the second part. The third part was all about AEW, and this fourth part that's coming out this weekend is about his return to WWE. But like when you go through, like when you hear everything that went through, and like some of the stories I heard too were like things I didn't even like look at or heard or anything, but like they also play clips from promos he gave too during those times, and it's like you can feel the hunger, you can feel the tenacity, you can feel just like the growth that Cody was going through to get to where he is. Like it's an amazing story when you look at it because like you have this guy trying to break free from his father's shadow, the father that like did so much for the business and was a huge figure who ended up signing with the WWE. They treated him like dirt, and then but the guy made every moment of it count because he was just a man of the business. And just it's a very inspiring story, and like especially with me in this past year with Cody and like personal things with me that have been going on. It's like shit's gotten personal. Like Chad said it a couple weeks ago. This just means more. Like
Mhm.
just seeing Cody finally like getting that recognition that he needs, finally getting to that spot that he fought so hard for, that he like trained so hard for, that he bet on himself so much for him to finally get that moment at a big stage, in a big event, in a big main match, and finally like being able to surpass his father, because like
Mhm.
ultimately that is Cody's story, because he went through so much of like not knowing who he is. Like he had an identity crisis around the time when his dad did pass away because of like the gimmick he had, and then like almost not wanting to be in the business anymore at all, but just there was that hunger in him. And I know I might be rambling a little bit, but God, man, it's just this story just means so much more, and especially when you like just look at it from everything that's happened in his life up to this point. It's like that this means more than just the title. This is a man finally coming to terms with who he is as a person.
I love seeing the
Mm-hmm.
growth and the evolution of what Cody has become. Even hearing on the MMA Hour, one thing I want to add is when he said that if I don't win, I guess I'll be on commentary. Like, it shows how much like this means more. Like, this is what's driving him. This is what is keeping him awake to sleep. Like, this is what is his fuel. We all can't wait to see that Cody will finish the story, and I can't wait to see Night 2 entering to Raw. The light drop, and when us have said we were entering the new season.
But yeah, that's WrestleMania. That is WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. That is our predictions. That are all our thoughts. That are our, well, hopefully it's what we want. Hopefully what we want to happen happens. And if not, well, hopefully it's a good surprise and not a rubber chicken in the middle of the ring. Instead, we're getting a giant prime bottle in the middle of the ring. So
Yes.
be prepared for that, everybody.
Our first sponsor for that, Blood on the Floor narrative will be on Prime. Let's see how that would be.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Cody will finish his story on top of an energy drink. But you know what? Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments or wherever we're posting this and all that. Even if it's just our clips, make sure you check those out. Make sure you check everything else out for us. And you know what? I'm gonna hit the intro if that's all right with you guys, because I think we've basically talked enough about WrestleMania
Yeah.
for this point.
Right before you get the outro, guys, like Watkins said on the YouTube chat, definitely continue liking this. You are seeing our first full length video on YouTube. Don't forget to click that video, like it, give us a comment, let us know what you guys thought about it. If you was unaware of the Weebs of the Ring, we have a couple shorts on YouTube. Like Watkins about to say, go follow us on all and everyone's social media. And we are live every Monday and Friday after the Raw Smackdown is done. We're live at 11:30 p.m. EST on Monday and 10:30 p.m. EST on Friday night. So definitely always check us out on twitch.tv/AniMa Studio. If we're not multicasting, then you will catch us on YouTube as well. If not, go check us on Twitch. Go follow us on Twitch. Put the fucking bell notification on. We're fucking back. Content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all yours now.
We're
Outro.
PG. We're PG, motherfucker. But yes, thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. If you enjoyed what we had to say, do all the stuff that Vash said. Otherwise, Drop's going to come by and give you some sweet chin music right across your chin.
Yep, right away. No warning whatsoever.
Nope. Just he's going to roll up in the tank just like they did to WCW headquarters. He's going to have his boys with him, and they're not going to hold back. They're not going to show any mercy. So
Nope.
check out that description. Do what Vash said. And one thing he didn't say, though, is if you want to talk to us, we do have a fun hashtag known as hashtag Weebs of the Ring. And you could use that to interact with us at about anything. It could be wrestling's before, during, and after a show. If you have feedback for us, you just want to chat it up, we talk more about wrestling. We talk things like comic books, video games. I'm still making my way through Final Fantasy Rebirth. That's still a thing in my life because it's taking over my life, but that's neither here nor there, because Weebs of the Ring is presented by AniMa Studio. Thanks to our production team of Vash, Watkins, Drop This Box, Rome with a Dot once again for the awesome logo, and Jokester, who helps with our video game content, as well as special thanks to JB and Abe for everything that you guys do. Thank you for joining us, and remember, no stunt grannies were harmed in the recording of this podcast. Have a good one, everybody.
Enjoy WrestleMania 40.
Enjoy it, guys.